Wow, talk about dramatic. Hi, I'm Melly, and I'm here to show you the wonderful dramatic world that is melodrama. But before we get too deep into it, let's start at the beginning. Come on, what are you waiting for? Whoa! Whoa, are we in France? Cool! Melodrama is a genre that emerged in France during the Revolutionary period. That was around the late 18th to mid-19th century. The French Revolution was a period of social and political upheaval in France from 1789 to 1799 that profoundly affected the French and modern history. This was the decline of the most powerful monarchies and churches and the rise of democracy and nationalism. The word melodrama literally means music drama or song drama, which derives from Greek but reached the Victorian theatre by the way of the French. In Britain, melodrama became the most popular kind of theatrical entertainment for most of the 19th century, a period where more people went to the theatre than at any other time in history. Its unprecedented popularity during the Victorian period owes much of its appeal to the working class or artisan audiences and to a ready-made nexus of so-called illegitimate theatres. These were the theatres that were forbidden by law to perform drama involving the spoken word without music. Despite a decline in the popularity of melodrama on stage by the end of the 19th century, its influence both during and after its heyday has been immense. Melodrama's influence went beyond the stage, affecting novelists throughout the period. To mention just a few examples, there were Dickens, Wilkie Collins, sensation novelists, and even Henry James. It was a direct influence on the silent screen, and its techniques persist today in film, television, fiction, and theatre. So you may be thinking, what is melodrama? If we want to look at it literally, it is a sensational dramatic piece with exaggerated characters and exciting events intended to appeal to the emotions. I don't know anything about being dramatic. Now, we just talked about how the word melodrama broke down into music drama. However, in contemporary drama, the music aspect has been mostly gone. Most modern melodramas now deal with stereotypical characters and exaggerated conflicts and emotions. You have probably seen people in plays or on TV who faint when they hear bad news. Now that's a mainstay of melodramas. Melodrama doesn't just sit on stage though, it also refers to the exaggerated emotions off stage too. Do you have a friend who overreacts? Like, hey, Millie! Millie didn't say hi back. Millie hates me. Now I'm an outcast. Why, Millie? Why? Now that's melodramatic. The relationships of melodrama compared to realism is complex. The protagonists of melodramatic works may be ordinary people who are caught up in extraordinary events or highly exaggerated and unrealistic characters. Regarding its high emotions and dramatic rhetoric, melodrama represents a victory over repression. Melodramas put most of their attention on the victim, a struggle between good and evil, such as a man being encouraged to leave his family by an evil temptress. Other stock characters are the fallen woman, the single mother, the orphan, and the male who is struggling with the impacts of the modern world. Now you may be thinking to yourself, Millie, what is a stock character? Well, let me tell you. A stock character is a stereotypical fictional person or type of person in a work of art, such as a novel, play, or a film, who the audience recognizes from frequent reoccurrences. There is a wide range of stock characters covering men and women of various ages, social classes, and demeanors. The presence of a particular array of stock characters is a key component of many genres, which often help identify a genre or subgenre. For example, if you were to see A Knight and a Witch, it's probable that the genre is of a fairy tale or a fantasy. So, what are the stock characters for melodrama? Now, there are 5 main stock characters in melodrama. We've got the hero. Now, the hero is moral, manly, brave, courageous, and handsome. He believes in justice and fights against evil and injustice. He also saves the heroine from danger and defeats the villain. Now, who's the heroine? Well, I have a lot in common. The heroine is beautiful, kind, gentle, and innocent. She's in love with the hero. She's often in distress or danger and needs to be saved. The damsel in distress. Oh, At the end of the story, she has a happily ever after with the hero. Then we have the villain. The villain is the main enemy of the hero. He's evil, powerful, dishonest, vengeful, corrupt, and rich. He hates the hero. In most melodramas, the villain tries to kidnap or marry the heroine. Now we've got a two, not as common, but still quite prevalent in melodrama. We have the villain's accomplice. Now the villain's accomplice helps the villain, but he often gets in the way of the villain. He or she is rather idiotic and stupid and provides comic relief. We also have the faithful servant. The faithful servant is the accomplice of the hero. However, this character is often always portrayed as clumsy and idiotic. He is not brave, courageous, or handsome as the hero. The character often provides comic relief to the audience, just like the villain's accomplice. In addition to these stock characters in melodrama, we also have different stereotypical characters, such as the aging parents, flirtatious maids, and the comic servants. Now that's been a brief overview of the history and stock characters of melodrama. Now, it's time for me to go. Don't be so melodramatic.